When I start shooting, all y'all gonna clear out.
First thing I want to talk about is this tweet here from Blasted Salami. You guys know that he does not tweet often. He was a big content creator in Tekken 7, but Tekken 7, like, the developers already shown signs of like kind of ignoring the player base, and that only blown up tenfold in Tekken 8. Blasted Salami says Tekken 7 succeeded on the back of its passionate community. Players, TOs, and creators carried it far beyond what its design or post-launch support alone could have done. That feedback was filtered rather than engaged with. 2 years into Tekken 8, the consequences are obvious. Now, what he's referring to here is obviously what's going on with EVO. For those of you who are aware, you know that the EVO Japan player count looks abysmal. We have a slightly more updated version of the numbers, but you can still see that Tekken 8 just barely crossed over 200 people going to EVO. Meanwhile, Guilty Gear has a little bit more than that, and the Street Fighter is basically the whole entire thing. Now, we do know that Street Fighter is very, very popular in Japan. I was told by someone who knows a lot more than me about Street Fighter that the players there, like Tokido, are famous. They have $1 million dojos where they train, and people sit on the other side of the glass and watch them train like it's UFC, like it's boxing. That's how big Street Fighter is in Japan. Now, what I also know is that some people are expecting Tekken 8's entry level to rise. Maybe in the past it did. This time we'll see. I know some people are waiting to see how Season 3 pan out before they do purchase a ticket. The Tekken World Tour Finals is just a little while away, so some people are waiting for that before they fully tap out. Now, I know a lot of people heard this argument before, and they say the reason why Street Fighter 6 is ahead is because they're more legacy than Tekken. Even though both of these games are very old and very legacy, I guess Street Fighter is just a little bit more legacy, a little bit more ingrained in the culture. And when people think fighting games, they think Chun-Li, they think Ryu, they think Hadouken. I wonder if Tekken could do something to overcome this, whether it be collaborations, whether it be better marketing. This is something that players pushed hard for. I do know that the Tekken developers released some new merch. Me personally, I think the merch looks pretty good in comparison to some of the things that they done in the past. So that's really cool to see that Tekken is not only doing merch, but the merch is getting better. Now, something I do want to mention as well is what Harada said about the future announcements for this game. You know, Harada and Michael Murray was a very big part of every single reveal. Are you ready? And then they walk out, they come back, they show the trailers. It was a whole song and dance that the players was used to. And when asked how will the announcements go in the future, Harada says this. First, I'll read the Event Hub's headline. Harada assures fans that future Tekken announcements will feel okay without him. The tweet that sparked this came from Tekken Gamer, who says, just had the saddest thought. With Harada retired, will Tekken announcements have the same hype? Those reveals are going to have to be S tier with Harada gone. I can't imagine no Harada on stage. Are you ready? Harada responds to this and says, it will be okay. People are built to move forward by forgetting. Do you remember exactly what you were doing on this day a few years ago? Most people don't. But life kept going the whole time. And the hype, the sunrise, all of it carried to the next person. That's just how it works. And to echo this as well, I would say a similar thing with John Cena. When he retired, he was saying like, yeah, people will clap, cheer, and celebrate, and you know, they'll miss me. But when I'm gone, and someone else will take the torch. Someone else will fill the void. Now, as for Tekken, we hope that is Nakatsu. Some people have faith in him because of what he did at Tekken 7. Some people have faith in him based on what he did at Tekken Tag Tournament 2. But really, all of that stuff is kind of being overshadowed by what Tekken 8 is now. And not only does Nakatsu need to step up in a real way and put this game back on track in terms of balance, if he can do that, I think this will go down as one of his best accomplishments, but it will be an uphill battle because a lot of people are leaving and a lot of people don't want to, deal with it. So not only do we need to get the game back in order, but he also needs to continue pushing this game in terms of marketing, because we saw how it was falling off in comparison to Street Fighter. Street Fighter gets bigger and bigger. Tekken 8 is getting wobbly. The legs is shaken. It's going to collapse. But then also in terms of announcements, Nakatsu has been making appearances this past year. I think they were preparing for Nakatsu to take over like visually, but they haven't really got there yet. And with that sudden shift with Harada leaving, now more than ever, Nakatsu's going to have to step up and throw down. I think he can. I have faith in him. really he's been in charge all along, but a lot of people don't have faith in him. A lot of people want to see what he's capable of in terms of game development. And on that note, you have this tweet here from Arsenal and Ash. He says, been grinding a lot for the Tekken World Tour lately. Tekken without heat is an incredible game. Movement, spacing, timing, real decisions. But once heat starts, it turns into constant pressure, stress, and to too many force 50-50s. Tekken truly shines without heat. Also, Brian QCB1 needs a nerf. So you can see Arsenal is still pushing for the Arsenal, for the Brian nerfs, but you can see he's also making a lot of good points. I talked to so many people who dislike Tekken, who like Tekken, and the funny thing about all of it is that they agree. They agree on what needs to change with this game, so it really shouldn't be that hard for the developers to achieve it. Some people may say it more harshly than others, but everyone is singing the same tune, which is why I think Season 3 is an easy slam dunk for them. Now, as for the Tekken World Tour, the Bandai Namco, they're probably not going to address the allegations that's facing multiple of their players. I made a video a couple of days ago talking about Alidar, Rafe, and these are guys who have serious allegations of cheating against them. I was sitting on the side of the fence of innocent until proven guilty. I was really trying to put pressure on Bandai Namco to speak for these guys, to say whether or not these guys are guilty, are innocent, to say whether or not they are investigating. But I don't think they're going to do it. A lot of people are coming to the conclusion that it's so close to the Tekken World Tour finals and Bandai Namco is just going to let it rock. And then maybe next year they will drastically overhaul the regional structure, but then maybe they'll just get rid of it altogether. My video kind of breaking all of that down was flagged by Alidar. I made a tweet here, I made a video, but for those of you who didn't see it, Alidar attempted to strike and take down my video on Tekken 8 TWT 2025 leaderboard fraud allegations. I also know he did the same thing to Blackheart, and there could be others who made a video about it. I received a privacy complaint for reporting on Alidar's Discord message where he was caught in a lie. The segment has been cut from the video to avoid a strike, but I'm sharing it here to spread awareness. Now, even though I did try to make adjustments to that video while it was up and live, it wasn't enough, and YouTube took it down. I know Blackheart is trying to fight to keep his video up, but I don't know. I guess I wasn't given that ability, and my video was lost. I try to be very fair when I'm talking about other people and things they may or may not be doing wrong. All of this stuff is alleged. All of this stuff is hearsay until it's proven. But we have to see effort from Bandai Namco to want to prove these things right, or you're only encouraging more people to for surely do wrong. Regardless, we have good news. Tekken 8 will be a part of the EWC 2026 lineup. You can see all of the games here that will be featured. What's very fascinating about this is you have Tekken 8, you have Street Fighter, and you have Fatal Fury, but that's 3 fighting games a part of this lineup. That is magnificent. In total, to all the games, they will be giving out $75 million. That is life-changing money. We know Osan won the previous 2. Who will win it next year? We'll just have to wait and see what the tournaments are to find out. Now, I also have the tournament format, so you can see week 1, week 2, week 3. All of this will be starting in July, so we have some time, and ending in August. Once this does come along, I will be trying to stream all of this because I think it will be very fascinating to just see. But another thing we can look forward to is the Esports Nation Cup. This is ran by the same people who do the Esports World Cup. World Cup is about teams and organizations like Cloud9, FaZe, and stuff like that. Esports Nations is about nations, regions, Pakistan, Korea. So it's the same people, but they're doing a different type of tournament. And really all we need to know is that this is another opportunity for our players to win big money, for Tekken to have a big moment.